Welcome to the Hyundai Tucson N-Line review. A car with very big shoes to fill, and not only that of its predecessor, but also in terms of where the market is currently. So I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about its tech and features, its practicality, my personal likes and dislikes, and then I'm going to take it out on the road to find out how it performs in the real world, and then I'm going to tell you what it'll cost to own one of these. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. Car Talks. Power, precision, performance. Massive shout out to Hyundai Bryanston for loaning us today's vehicle. And once again, the i20 special is still valid until the end of December, where we're giving you a cashback bonus of up to 10,000 rands when you buy one through Hyundai Bryanston. All you have to do is head down there and let Siyabonga Dlamini know that you saw the i20 on Car Talks. It's as simple as that. Moving right along. If you're a prospective buyer in the market who's looking to acquire a mid-sized SUV, then I think you're in a world of trouble because there's a plethora of options from which to choose. And similarly, if you're a manufacturer of mid-sized SUVs, then I think you're in a world of trouble too because competition has never been as rough as it is today. So does the Tucson rise to the occasion in a segment that is currently being taken over by the Chinese? Well, let's find out. But before we get to that, we need to go back in time in order to understand where this particular vehicle fits in. Formally introduced in the market in 2004 as the more cost-efficient, more compact alternative to the Hyundai Santa Fe. It would later be rebranded as the iX35 between 2009 and 2015 production years. And here we are today in the facelift of the fourth generation, and we are back to the Tucson nameplate. We have the N-Line to ourselves, of course, and how do you know that this particular one is the N-Line? Well, Hyundai have gone out of their way to tell you that it is the N-Line. There's so many N-Line badges, but apart from that, there are a few giveaways that you're in something special, including black mirror caps, a blacked out grille, black window trims, 19-inch alloy wheels, and dual exhausts. And now the N-Line is powered by a 2-liter turbo diesel engine, producing 137 kilowatts and 416 newton meters of torque. Power is sent to all four wheels via an 8-speed automatic gearbox. It weighs 1,678 kilograms and has a claimed 0 to 100 kilometer per hour time of 9.4 seconds. Moving on to practicality, tech, and features, you get a 539-liter boot, which is on par with most rivals in the segment. But the VW Tiguan offers 652 liters. The rear bench gets a 60-40 split configuration, and you get a 12-volt socket just in case you go camping. Surprisingly, you also get a full-sized alloy spare wheel, which is a nice touch, but it does eat away into the boot capacity a little bit. In the rear, you get the word Tucson written on the door sills, which is pretty generous because most competitors in the segment only have this in front, if at all. You also get leatherette and suede seats. Another giveaway that you're in the top of the range N-Line is the red stitching on the seats. You get a center armrest with 2 cup holders and ISOFIX anchor points to safely mount your child's seat. Speaking of safety, the Tucson gets a 5-star Euro NCAP rating. You also get 2 air vents as well as 2 USB-C ports. As always, I'm 1.78 meters tall and I can comfortably sit behind my driving position. Headroom is plenty as well. Stepping into the front cabin, you get Tucson on the door sills, as is the case in the rear. You also get electrically adjustable front seats, which are both heated and ventilated, together with N-Line insignia to let you know you're in something special. Those would be your buttons to adjust the front passenger's seat. The fit and finish of this cabin is honestly mighty impressive. Sure, it might not look as high-end as some of its competitors, but the fit and finish is undeniable with soft touch materials everywhere. And by the way, those 4 dots on the steering wheel are Morse code for the letter H. How cool is that? You get a 12.3-inch infotainment system that comes with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can also mess around with the brightness settings of the display and reduce the blue light radiation. And for those of you who work in corporate, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with the kind of eye strain that blue light causes when you've been sitting in front of your laptop for 10 hours at a time. So I highly appreciate this feature. You can also toggle through and change the layout of your gauges between classic and simple. The vehicle gets 64 color ambient lighting. Moving on to some of the buttons on the center console, you get a mode selector knob which you can use to toggle through between eco, normal, sport, and a personalized My Drive mode which you can customize to your heart's desires. The camera button pulls up the rear view camera. Just be mindful that this is not a 360-degree camera. However, the display itself has a high enough resolution and it's easy enough to follow the guidelines when reversing. And because this is a four-wheel drive car, you're able to select various off-road modes, including snow, mud, and sand. You get a massive panoramic sunroof with slide and tilt function, which you can only get in the N-Line, by the way. Hyundai doesn't have a lot of optional extras, and that means you simply select a trim level and it just comes with everything. And I quite like that ethos as opposed to the Germans, where you have to tick a box for everything and the options end up being as much as the car itself. As part of the N-Line, you get a Bose surround sound system as standard, and if you want to hear how that sounds, I've posted a YouTube short, so check that out when you can. Storage space is pretty decent. The glove box is not the biggest, but you do have ample space under the armrest. Oh, here's a flask that we can use to demonstrate the utility of those two cup holders. You get two USB-C ports, a 12-volt socket, and a wireless charger. Moving on to three things I don't like about this vehicle, and I'm really nitpicking because this is an exceptionally good car. Number one is the use of piano black. Albeit not that extensive in this cabin, but it does mean that it scratches quite easily. Number two are those touch haptic climate control buttons, which remind me of the previous generation Porsche Cayenne. And they look rather busy for my liking, but I still prefer this than having the climate control system embedded within the infotainment. Number three, there's no head-up display and you cannot option it as well, which is a missed opportunity for a top-of-the-range mid-sized SUV. But it's not all doom and gloom because here are three things I really like. Number one, the engine is the party trick of this vehicle. And this is honestly the engine I feel that the Mazda CX-60 individual that we had on test earlier should have come with. I mean, sure, I get that the top-of-the-range Takumi has a 3-liter turbo diesel engine, but that is over R1,000,000. Number two, road presence is immense. The front end makes a bold statement for sure. I mean, just look at it. It looks like it is going to transform into Optimus Prime. Number three, the warranty is pretty generous. You get a 5-year 150,000 kilometer warranty with a further 2-year 50,000 kilometer drivetrain only warranty. I do have a separate video where I've explained the warranty structure of Hyundai, so click on the link in the description to watch that. Moving on to driving dynamics, the vehicle comes equipped with high performance dampers, or HPD in short. And given that this is the N-Line, the suspension is on the firm side. But those 19-inch alloy wheels compensate for this because the tires have a high sidewall to absorb the road imperfections. It would probably look a bit better with a 20 or 21-inch rim, but then that would stiffen the ride even further. So good choice on that Hyundai. Torque is delivered from 2000 RPM all the way through to 2750 RPM, which is nice and low. So for as long as you're above 2000 and below 3000 RPM, you are at the peak of the torque curve. And that gives it a sense of urgency without having to rev out the engine completely. Claimed fuel consumption is 7.4 liters to the 100, but because this is a brand new car with only 2,000 kilometers on the clock, I was averaging closer to 10 liters per 100 kilometers. The gearbox communicates well with the engine, delivering quick upshifts, but the downshifts are not as quick, so I just leave this in auto and let it do its thing. Other highlight features include blind spot monitoring and lane keep assist. Before we get to pricing and the cost of ownership, if you're enjoying these videos, then leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. It goes a long way in growing our reach. So let's continue engaging and having those conversations. The range kicks off with the front-wheel drive premium, which comes with a 2-liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated petrol engine, mated to a 6-speed automatic gearbox, and that starts from 560,000 rands. Above that is the front-wheel drive executive, which comes with the same 2-liter turbo diesel that's found in the N-Line, mated to an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and that starts from 710,000 rands. Finally then, the range-topping N-Line introduces 4-wheel drive and all of the bells and whistles that we've discussed earlier in the video, and that starts from 860,000 rands. So if you don't really need the off-road capability and that panoramic sunroof, you can save yourself a neat 150,000 rands and just get the executive because it is the same engine after all. But knowing South Africans, we love our sunroofs, so I'm not even going to convince you otherwise. On finance, the N-Line would cost you 16,200 rands a month over 6 years at the current prime interest rate of 10.5% per annum. Insurance is risk profile dependent, and the cheapest quote I got was 1,700 rands. A full tank of diesel would cost you just over 1,000 rands at the current inland price of diesel for the 54-liter fuel tank, which would then bring your total cost of ownership to 19,000 rands. The closest natural rival that we have to the Tucson in South Africa is probably the VW Tiguan R-Line TDI, but that only has 110 kilowatts and starts from 855,000 rands. But once you start ticking all of the boxes that would make it comparable to the N-Line in specification, then you're looking at an additional 100,000 rands. The diesel Kia Sportage in GT line trim is priced from 741,000 rands, which is lower than the N-Line. But with only front-wheel drive and 100 kilowatts, means that the Tucson is superior. And when it comes to the Chinese, I think the focus there is on plug-in hybrid petrols. And the only Chinese diesel SUV I'm aware of currently on sale in South Africa is the GWM Tank 300, which is not a direct competitor to the Tucson. But let me know in the comments what Chinese SUV you think can give the Tucson a run for its money. Let's continue the discussion and engagement. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.